Welcome. We're so glad you're here. I'm going to intro such a dope person, Evan Harvey. He's been with the beta class since the beginning. He's an amazing person. And man, we're just so thankful for everyone here who's been rocking with us really since before we had product, before I was here. I'm grateful to have you. He got his vaccine today. Man's trying to power through it. So we're super excited and honored to have you. I'm going to give a virtual welcome to Evan Harvey. Welcome, man. We're so glad to have you.
So glad to be here, guys. Thank you all for spending your Friday nights, wherever you guys may be, to hear just a little bit about our workshop today. So I'm super excited. So I'm ready.
Let's get it, man. You want to go ahead and share your, we're ready to begin whenever you are.
Let's do it. All right. Perfect, guys. Well, thank you guys once again so much for coming today. I definitely understand how Friday nights can be for everyone, and especially just being home. You guys just want to relax after a long, hard week. But thank you guys so much for spending time with us today and hearing about everything about maximizing and professionalizing your digital life. So I will go ahead and keep going. My bad, guys. There we go. Perfect. All right, but first, I really want to introduce myself for those who have not gotten a chance to meet me. My name is Evan Harvey. But I'll get to that in a second. Here's my current agenda for today. Class is currently in session. So today I'll just be going through a quick introduction, kind of the why on why this specific type of content, so maximizing and professionalizing your digital life, is really important. So I'll be going over kind of just the explanations for that and how to really do that, of course. So you get all this kind of interesting feedback and you really want to know how do you accomplish these tasks in your search and digital lives. I want to go touch on privacy because I think that's really important to talk about, and especially for everyone who is online and puts everything out there. Privacy is super, super important. So I really want to go over that. Then I'll go wrap it up, get some good main points in there, and I'll open up to a Q&A. Hopefully that's Q&A doesn't have to just be on this presentation. It can be just about me, my life, what you guys want to know about, and just everything in general. So super, super excited. I'll give a short little introduction about myself. So my name is Evan. I'm currently a junior at the University of Oregon. I'm majoring in advertising. I come from Salem, Oregon. I have lived here my whole entire life for the past 20 years. So if you guys are any curious about Oregon, I'll definitely go on and talk about that. I'm a producer, photographer, and content creator. Those are my three main ones right now I'm focusing on, but I do specialize in graphic design and social media content creation as well. And as Joe said, I have been a part of the fall beta class here at Collective since the beginning, which has been super, super incredible. It's been one of the most craziest experiences I've ever been in. And just connecting with creatives all across the United States was interesting. Actually, not just the United States, actually, from the world pretty much. And it's been incredible to see how far this creative community can stretch out to. So I've been here for a while, and I'm super fortunate to be asked to come on here and share some knowledge on you guys. I'm also a president of an organization out on the University of Oregon campus, and also a producer on campus as well. I've worked with over 5 clients that are pretty big. So I got Tutortree, as you guys saw in my portfolio. I got Oregon women's basketball account as well too. So I help create social media content and attend client meetings and work with them as well. And a couple others I can go into later at the end of the presentation if you guys are curious about that. But yeah, I like to call myself a consumer tech junkie, a boba obsessor. I don't have that today. I have a pink drink today. That was also a secondhand choice. And then a passionate creative educator as well too. I think a lot of creatives are kind of lost sometimes when they want to professionalize and get out there. So I want to be able to be a part of that for everyone. So yeah, that's a little about me, but let's get into it. I also have some other ones. So me in fonts, I like to call myself in the Druid Wide. Avenir Next, my favorite fonts. In Zodiac, I'm a Pisces. So for all my fellow Zodiac fans, feel free to drop that in the chat and tell me what your Zodiac sign is. On apps, I'm on TikTok, Twitter, and Google Calendar. If you guys know me personally, Google Calendar, I'm on every hour of the day. I'm on there all the time. And I made myself into a playlist. And this is an actual live Spotify playlist. So if you guys want to hear my type of music, who I am, and get a better sense of me, here you guys go. I got BTS in there. I'm a big BTS fan, as well as K-pop, and just a couple other bops in there too. So feel free to look it up. Just look up Evan in the playlist if you guys want to hear just about my music taste and a little bit more about me. Awesome, guys. So for today, I want to go over kind of the whys. So why do you want to go kind of maximizing and professionalizing your digital life? Why is this important? I think it's a good conversation to start beginning for creatives, since with all those content you guys are putting out, maximizing those platforms and professionalizing them will help you guys stand out, and pretty much I'll explain in a second, a lot of other things. So I want to go over kind of just the why and everything. For one, it really, really helps your consistency across all your platforms. This includes TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, your portfolio. So professionalizing these platforms will help you get this consistency and develop a brand for yourself, if you will. Also, you become a super, super presentable creator as well. As creators on this platform, you guys have an opportunity to really become presentable and land your internships, your jobs, everything. And doing these kinds of tips and tricks will be able to show you guys how to present yourself well. But yeah, also your social media channels are now becoming mini resumes. If you guys haven't noticed, a lot of people are now just sharing their TikToks, their Twitters, and just sharing those things. So we're entering an age where these social media channels are becoming super, super performative, and it shows all your work. So that's one reason why maximizing everything is key. And also creatives are heavily looked at online nowadays, especially in our pandemic world. So harnessing these platforms is super important as well. All right, guys. And of course, landing those internships and jobs. We all want to get paid. We want to get those work experience. That's part of the creative experience, since it is a very competitive field for a lot of people. Doing this can help you kind of stand out from the competition and make yourself well known. Especially right now, they only can look really at there's not really in-person interviews anymore. There's virtual interviews, and they look at your social media all the time. So yeah, that's super key. Yeah, so your social media is super, super important. I'm going to go over kind of the social media aspects of two platforms, and how you guys can best harness those right now, since they're two growing ones. For one, and how I want to talk about social media cleanup. For one, cleaning up your social media right now is pretty much going to be key, especially if you want to professionalize yourself. You really want to make sure that you have a good base to start off with. So to do that on Instagram, a lot of people will start checking their captions and photos, and that's a really great way to start. Anything that could be seen as unappealing to professionals or future employers, you either want to archive that or maybe even delete it. I prefer archiving, just so you can still have that available for you, but that's kind of how you might want to approach that. Because since if you are on a public Instagram page, and you might have, you and your friends drinking one night, and, future employer sees that, they're not going to probably be too keen to hire somebody like that. It's all about professionalism here. So one way to maximize that is just checking through all your posts and seeing what could be taken out in all that kind of space. Also, updating your contact information, super, super important. Everything nowadays, they're going to be reaching out to you and making sure they're trying to get the best contact information. So say if you have an old email, old phone number, old portfolio link, those things, will really kind of set time aside from the employer and be like, I don't want to waste time doing that. So make sure that you have all that information up to date and everything between. I recommend in your bios, there is a link feature. A lot of people will just put their portfolio link, which is super important as well too. But there's also so many of these link in bio platforms where you can provide hundreds of links if you really want to. I use one in my Instagram page where it really just helps me file a lot of links. I have the collective Zoom link there right now, my collective profile, my portfolio, my email. So if you guys are interested in that, I can talk a little bit more about that as well. And one thing as well, the content you're putting out, and if you have a public Instagram, it can be viewed by literally anyone, especially if you're using hashtags. So just think about these when you're going through your posts and future posting as well too. For those of you on private Instagrams, I would recommend thinking about how future employers could see you. For those who see that, we've probably all seen a private Instagram page. If a future employer sees that, how are they gonna know who you are in a way? I understand privacy is super important, and if private is the way to go, totally understand. This is just something to think about as far as going on your social media accounts and developing a brand for yourself. And the same suggestions apply for the public accounts as well too. So when you're cleaning this up, checking everything is really key. And I just want to mention it could be limited by not much reach when you have a private Instagram page, especially if you're trying to share your work out there. If you're doing illustrations, photos, booking clients that way, that's one thing you should be thinking about when you go through these. All right, and I'll go into Twitter, since it's also another huge platform people are currently using. Specifically photographers, this platform is growing in the photographer space, and this is primarily because of the engagement you're seeing on Twitter. Instagram used to be the top place for your photography work, but recently Twitter has been kind of dominating that industry, since the reach is better and your photography gets more seen and everything in between. So just a side note, if you guys are hoping to kind of grow your photography business or your work or get seen by more people, I recommend checking out Twitter and seeing how that works for you. Twitter is really heavy on media, so is Instagram, but it seems a little bit more Twitter's dominating the industry. So look into it if you guys haven't already, and start posting your work there. I think it's a great idea. But yeah, Twitter as well. The same thing applies when you guys look through your captions or photos. This happens to a lot of people. If you have seen scandals by celebrities, like there are tweets they pull up that are like just like crazy stuff. So I'd recommend going through once again and just seeing what could be, what are you displaying out to the public. Your likes as well are also available to be viewed by anyone. If I'm not saying it correctly, I believe you can also turn that off in your settings. But just think about what you're liking and how that's going to come off. And as well as updating the contact information everywhere in links and stuff in your profile picture. Super, super important to maximizing that kind of space. So yeah, you're going to see something similar here on the wording. So just kind of apply that same knowledge to Instagram and apply it to Twitter as well too. But yeah, if you have a private page, also the similar rules apply. There are a lot of future employers that are now looking at Twitter as a space of viewing, which is crazy. Like these, as I said before, these social media platforms are becoming super, super valuable in who you are. They want to know who you are aside from your resume and your portfolio. But yeah, same suggestions apply as the public accounts. Check through everything and think about how your reach might be limited by being private. But once again, if you guys prefer being private on your Instagram pages, totally get it. There are a lot of weird people out there, so I totally understand. But yeah, that's kind of those two spaces. And TikTok is also a big one right now. For those who are not on this platform, I know there's some people who are still not really into this whole space of entertainment. But TikTok is becoming a super huge network that I think a lot of people just don't tap into for creatives. If you guys have seen Emma's presentation last week, she has over 100,000 followers on TikTok on her fashion knowledge, and this is incredible. So I think if you could be doing the same thing of what you love to do, photography, art, illustration, it can blow up. This network is super, super amazing, and I think everyone should utilize it. For public TikToks, a lot of people forget that your content, especially on TikTok, since their algorithm is super, super diverse, like your content will be pushed to people who are on the platform engaging. So when you post in something, just make sure, once again, that would you want your mom to see this post? Is it something like you're gonna get, flamed for? You never know. And especially if the content goes viral, that happens often for a lot of people. So just think about that as well too. And if you're using your TikTok account for portfolio content, when you put your content, make sure it's going out consciously and also regularly. You're going to garner quite a bit of following if you keep doing this. So just make sure that you are engaging with your audience, you are linking them to specific links everywhere, and really just make sure you're putting out content that is going to be viewed by anyone that would like. So yeah. In a private page, since TikTok's private page, there's not much you can see other than your name and your bio, and I believe a link as well too. Not too much to worry about here, but once again, if you want to develop a portfolio piece from this on TikTok, public might be the way to go, but privacy is important, and I'll touch on that today as well too. But make sure your bio is safe to be viewed. Update the links. Your bio isn't saying anything harmful. I prefer putting your pronouns in bios if you guys don't do that already. Begin doing that. It's normalizing that kind of pronouns. I would work on that as well too if you guys don't have those in your bios. And a public portfolio as well too. Your public portfolio is going to be something that employers are going to look at first most of the time if you're applying to jobs and internships. So make sure that information is easy to view and all the contact information is updated. And I would also recommend not putting your phone number anywhere on your portfolios, just because once again, this is a public web page. People can find that phone number and you don't know what could happen. They could reach out to you, kind of that thing. This is also a tip I got from my advising office. I do work in one on campus, and phone numbers aren't super critical on your resumes, especially if you're already including them in the application process. But yeah, in private, same thing follows. Private portfolios aren't really common since public portfolios, they typically want to let the view to everyone. But if you are a private portfolio by chance, just consider making that public and making sure that people are able to see that. All right, guys. I want to touch on privacy today, just because this is very important to putting out online information to the public. So I'm gonna go over just some really cool tips that you guys can try out to make sure you guys are being safe online. Because online, you don't know what people are doing out there. There's some crazy people. So I want to go over some good privacy tips that a lot of people can understand. So security online is very overlooked sometimes. A lot of people just go on willy-nilly to Google Chrome and just do whatever they want. Passwords, everything. All this stuff is important to professionalizing your digital life. And I would recommend you guys take privacy seriously online. And one way you can do that is grabbing a password manager. For those who aren't familiar with password managers, a lot of these options here. So we got Keeper, 1Password, Dashlane. All these platforms keep your passwords all locked into one account pretty much in like a whole software. And you just got to type in one master password to get into these. And I use Dashlane for this one, and I recommend that to people. A lot of these are free too, so you can even use these all across everywhere. But what's really good about these is they allow you to generate passwords that are super secure and pretty much keep you good and safe online, and all your passwords are organized and everything. It's great. I recommend getting one of these if you guys don't have one already. But yeah, these are amazing opportunities to really just make sure you're safe online, all your passwords are managed. But yeah, I would also consider a VPN. For people that don't know, VPN is a virtual private network. And if you are on public Wi-Fi a lot, I'd recommend using a VPN. This pretty much gives you kind of a mask when you're online and kind of disguising you from being from anywhere. Because typically on public Wi-Fi's, just like Starbucks or something, people can get on there and pull any information for you if you're not secure on there, since it is a public network. This isn't really required, but I recommend doing this if you are on public cafe Wi-Fi's a lot. Airports, I'd especially use these. A lot of people like get on those private networks, especially on airports, since they're really high traffic. But yeah, VPNs are everywhere. In Dashlane, they have one embedded if you get the premium subscription. Not required, but there are a lot of free ones out there. You can get it for your phones. So I definitely recommend looking into one of these if you guys would like to. And also changing up your passwords occasionally is super important. A lot of your passwords end up becoming outdated, especially if they're really, not super fresh. If you use the same password for everything, highly recommend not doing that, especially if someone, happens to get that one password, they can get everything. So definitely change that up if you guys don't have that already. Once again, the password managers have that option, which is super helpful. And yeah, really recommend getting to those. But yeah, this is a really awesome website. I recommend trying out. Don't put in your actual password in here. This is not the best place to do it, since it's a public service, so you don't really know what's happening. But you can type in literally like, pancakes are my favorite food, and it'll tell you how long it'll take to hack your password if someone gets that information. I think I put in here I think I said tacos are cool or something with like an exclamation point and a few numbers. It'll take like 53 years to get someone could be hacking into it. So yeah, try this out to see if it's good. But typically those password managers I mentioned before have the option to create and custom a really secure password. But yeah. All right, guys, that was short and sweet. I like to keep it short and sweet, especially for a Friday night for a lot of you guys. But let me just go over some really fast tips real quick from what I mentioned. Maximizing and professionalizing your social media platforms. Once again, consistency. People want to make sure that they're getting the real you, and having that consistency will be super key. Especially for branding, if you're really into branding, and presentable creator, that's super amazing to be, especially in a competitive field, as I mentioned before. But yeah, and of course, make sure you're ensuring those public platforms are up to date. Content information is great, and you're working hard to really put out content that you like. Think about the future employers, how would that look like? And private profiles. Once again, private profiles are super important, and I don't want to force anybody to get a public one, but yeah. And privacy, once again, those are the quick tips I mentioned earlier. Yeah, change up those passwords. Don't use the same password everywhere, but yeah, short and sweet, guys. I want to give a quick plug, of course. Those are my Instagram and my portfolio. If you guys do want to reach out for any other tips and tricks and how to navigate these platforms. But yeah, that is all I have, and I'm opening it up to the Q&A. But yeah.
Yo, Evan, thank you so much. I'm giving you a virtual high
don't
five.
think we can hear you.
Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? No? Hold
I
on.
can hear you.
You can hear me?
Oh wait,
Yeah.
you can. My
All
bad.
right, cool. Yo, Evan, thank you so much. For real, we appreciate it, man. I don't, you guys may not know Evan yet, but you're going to in the future if you don't already. Man, this was such a good practical, just things that I feel like I didn't even know as I'm like kind of posting and as I'm like kind of protecting myself, and then also kind of just strategizing on what I am as a brand and who I am as an identity. So like who I am as like this online persona. So man, thank you so much. Would love to take some questions for Evan as well. As he said, his Instagram was right there. You can put that back up. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, let's
Just
do
so
that.
they can see it in your website. And I know your portfolio is also, I think
Oops.
Caleb put your portfolio in there as well.
Yes.
Anybody have any questions?
I have a question. What are your thoughts on, I know a lot of people have their like personal account, but then they also would have a photography Instagram or a production Instagram, and kind of splitting up that. So what are your thoughts on branding yourself on like a personal account or a production account, or if you want kind of a combination of both, what does that look like?
Absolutely. Great question, Megan. And this is something that I've been asked before since I have done this in the past. And I would say I'd recommend it if if you're taking your production, your field that you're working super seriously. And especially since Instagram kind of is a faded line when you want to have a personal and professional work, and it's hard to really differentiate that. I'd say it's a great idea, especially for the visual fields. I'd say go with it and see what happens. Sometimes those pages get more popular than the personal Instagram, so it works out for a lot of people. And yeah, for a lot of people, they just create another account and end up posting their stuff on there. And yeah, I would so recommend it. I should be doing that. I personally just got a little too. This whole year has been crazy, so it's been a lot of things happening. But Megan, I think that's a fantastic question, and I think a lot of people can benefit from having two pages from separating your personal and everything. So
For sure.
Great, thanks.
I've done that as well. I started doing that. I separated like my photography and then just posting random stuff, because I feel like sometimes you want to express yourself in a way that's not like super brandy or super like, here's my art. Like to me, I have like this, my page is joegonzalez.co, and then my regular page is like not co, and it's just a dumb like page where I just post my dog like and my wife. That's pretty much it. So sometimes I think that works for everybody, but I think people use that in a good way as well. Amazing. Anybody have any other questions
I have a
before we
question.
wrap up? What's up?
What do you think has been the most useful page for building your brand? Like, I know we talked a lot about like TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and I feel like they're all super relevant. What do you think you focus on the most and has helped you connect with possible employers?
Yeah. So by pages, Kayla, do you mean like
yeah, which of your platforms, like your Instagram or your Twitter, like what do you think has been the most useful for your career and like building that brand, showcasing your work?
Definitely. I would say it's a good mix of that personal portfolio. A lot of people start their portfolios really late. So if you haven't started one, I recommend, just getting a free trial to Squarespace and just getting one set up. I'd say the portfolio, that's the biggest one for me, especially since I get most of my contacts from individuals from that page. I don't get a lot of traction from my Instagram, and that's I totally understand that, since Instagram, my personal Instagram doesn't have so much of my content on there, of course. But yeah, that portfolio piece is super important for especially the visual creators out there. And it's a good place to just kind of create a hub for everything and easy to read content. So yeah, personal portfolio, but also TikTok has been interesting, since one person did reach out to me before on TikTok, and I'm like, I don't have anything up yet. So I think if you are using the platform on TikTok correctly and effectively and posting as much as possible, of course, trying to get the algorithm go, TikTok is also a good one. But yeah, great question.
Thanks.
Yes.
All right, we'll take one more. Don't be shy. You don't have to ask a question either. Yo.
So I follow Evan's Instagram, and it's super cool. Like it's super super on brand to Evan's overall style and personality, and you can tell that it matches your portfolio too. So I would say that from an outsider's perspective, it does seem like a professional and a personal hybrid.
Mhm.
How do you do that? Like, do you have any tips for having like that curated stylistic brand look?
Absolutely, Kat. That's an amazing question. That's one thing that with Instagram, it's a really weird position place because you're like, where do I go from either being professional or personal? And a lot of it had to deal with just like me wanting to put content out there and just doing it without, no waiting. It's just kind of just. I don't worry about likes anymore. I'm glad that Instagram turned it off for me, and I used to be super obsessed with that. I'm like, I was super obsessed over engagement, and that's kind of what drove me to be like, just do personal stuff because that's what gets the most likes. But yeah, I would say, do like either half and half. A lot of people do these cool, what's the word? It's like organized feeds where it's organized on checkerboard. So posting every other one of your content. But yeah, it's an interesting path. I would say just start putting out things mixed, so you can either do every once in a while you put like your professional work. I know Kat, amazing work you as well, so I think you can really accomplish that. I hope that answered your question. Kind of rambling there. I don't know if there's any in the chat, Joe, but I can't see at the moment.
I'm looking right now.
Okay.
I just see a lot of love.
Oh, awesome. Amazing.
Everyone's like, yo, this fits up though. Yo, this is dope. Like, yo,
I love that.
VPN.
Yeah, guys. I'm super open to chatting with literally anybody. So feel free to reach out to me. We can organize a Zoom call and we can just have a good coffee chat and stuff. Yeah, I would love to chat and everything.
Amazing. Yo, Evan, thank you so much for joining us. Everyone, thank you so much. I know it's a Friday and I know you could do anything, but I'm glad that you chose to get better as a creator. That's what we're all about here at Collective. So we're so glad that you're here. We believe that no matter what you do, you're a creator by design, and you can create anything, and you are born to create. So we're so excited that you joined us today. We'll be on Monday. I got my friend, his name's Barry Daly. He's an amazing photographer. Really, the thing that I love about Barry is that, as you know, in any art that you do, consistency and pushing through and keep creating is something that is so powerful. And so I think for him, being full-time freelance, trying to shoot, meet with people and connect with people, and also taking care of his mental health and all that is just super dope. So we're going to be, instead of doing it on Discord, we're going to do it on IG Live this time, just because I feel like we'll get a broader impact. And I feel like it's a lot easier sometimes for guests to bring them in. So I want to bring in some dope, just some more great people as we go out throughout the week. So I just want to make it easy, accessible to them. So join us on Monday at 1 p.m. And then we also have our challenge. Kayla, do you want to talk a little bit about our challenge or our challenges?
Yeah.
Can you say anything about those?
Guys, yes, we have so much exciting stuff going on right now. I know that a lot of you on this call have been with us since the beginning, and you've seen us kind of go back and forth with brands and challenges and that kind of stuff. Now we're unleashing all of the challenges. We have a bunch of ones coming out right now, and they're all paid. And I think they're all paid pretty nicely. We got some great incentives. So the first one we launched today, it's for Daylight. It's the LGBTQ plus banking app built by LGBTQ plus people for LGBTQ plus people. And they want to highlight the stories of how being in the queer community changes your experiences with finance. And the current banking industry is not set up that way, and it doesn't have an infrastructure that supports people in the queer community. So the goal of this is to showcase those stories, show what people's dreams are, what they're saving for, how that kind of differs from what the infrastructure is set up for. And it's super easy. It's a 15 to 30 second video telling us your story, submit it, and the first 20 that are following the guidelines are going to be given $100. So if you do it or you share it with your friends who would want to do it within the next couple of days, then that'll be awesome. And we have another challenge launching with them next week around a similar topic. This one's gonna be in partnership with Visa and allout.org. And they are lobbying for banks to create a system where transgender and non-binary consumers can change their name on their card without being unnecessarily outed, without experiencing dead naming, and without incurring additional fees, which is super important because the horror stories that we have heard of people having to go through these terrible experiences just to use their preferred name is just not okay. It's 2021. We're past that. So we're going to be helping them lobby to make a change in that industry. We also, next week, have another challenge that is launching. It's with this new banking app, Switch. We have great incentives for that one as well. These are all paid. And Switch is going to be working with us. We are launching on Monday. They're going to be working with us to actually track people's referral codes. And whoever shares it and gets the most people to sign up for the app is going to get hundreds of dollars in cash prizes. So they're offering a lot of incentives. They're really excited to be able to work with you guys to kind of expand their presence on college campuses. And the app is super cool. And the people who work there are super cool. I don't know if anyone knows Just College, but they basically like all spring breaks and fall breaks and everything are kind of planned through there for a lot of schools across the country. And these are the same people who founded that and then wanted to create a new app that is specifically meant for college students. So those are the three immediate ones we have coming up. It's a bunch of stuff, but they're all easy, fun, and like with really cool brands. So I hope you will participate.
And that's just specifically like our focus this month is finance. So as we go into different brands and different challenges, we're super excited as we partner with other brands. So if these challenges aren't for you, we're hoping to get some more for writers. We're hoping to get some more for any type of creator. We're trying to resource and bring brands together with creatives. So filling out your portfolio and us being able to see what you create helps us to be able to be like, oh, okay, like there's animators, there's people who do illustration. We need some graphic work. We can partner you with brands that do that. So like even just off kind of collective in general, like some people brand reached out to us and needed photographers. So as we're building the infrastructure and as we're partnering with brands, we partner them with some of our favorite photographers that we had, and we're like, yo, you should work with them. And then they get money, they get paid. Like it was just literally a transfer, and it was just something that as we develop, we want to see what creators actually need and give them money in their pockets. Like I know as a freelance artist, sometimes it's hard to find reliable income, and I don't want to go to Fiverr or all these different like cheap things. Like I want to be able to know that I'm going to create something that's dope, so.
Yeah. So lots of exciting stuff coming up, and we will keep you updated. But seriously, participate in those challenges, share them to your friends, and get hype for
share them, please. Share them, please. We want to get connected, especially with the LGBTQ plus community. We want to get people who need to have a voice, who deserve to have a voice. Like we want their stories to be heard. That's the most important thing as we partner with this community and this brand. So please let us know. Please share us. And man, we're just grateful to have the opportunity for you guys to join us on the ride. So
yeah. Exciting.
All right, guys, we're so excited for Monday and also Friday. Who do we have on Friday, Kayla?
Esther Alice, I believe, is
Esther
on Friday.
Alice. Esther Alice is on next Friday. So we're actually going to change the time to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So hopefully more people can join, which will be amazing. So join us then at 6 p.m.
Thank you again, Evan. This was awesome and learned
Thank you,
so
Evan.
much.
Thank you, Evan. This was awesome.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Let's hop in Discord and talk. Evan, share. Let's show Evan some love.
Share your
Sorry,
presentation.
I was literally reading another name. Let's show Evan some love. Thank you, Evan.
Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Bye.